Hello there. It's great to have you join us on a new episode of Tech Trends as we seek out innovation and creativity that are unique to Africa. On the program this week, we feature the winner of the United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency, UNFPA FGM Innovation Hack Lab Initiative, which supports Africa's young people and youth organizations in developing innovative solutions to end female genital mutilation. Also on the program, Adedeji Owoniwi, founder and COO at Convexity, discusses the implementation of the recently approved national blockchain policy. A warm welcome to the program. I'm Olayemi Odunuga. The world is being reshaped by the convergence of social, mobile, cloud, big data, community, and other powerful forces. The combination of these technologies unlocks an incredible opportunity to connect everything together in a new way and is dramatically transforming the way we live and work. This year, 4.3 million girls are at risk of female genital mutilation, according to latest estimates from the United Nations Population Fund and UNICEF. This number is projected to reach 4.6 million by 2030. While the national prevalence of FGM among women in Nigeria within the ages of 15 to 49 dropped from 25% in 2013 to 20% in 2018, prevalence among girls aged 0 to 14 increased from 16.9% to 19.2% in the same period. That's according to figures from the National Demographic and Health Survey. So in a bid to end this harmful practice, UNFPA launches an innovation that would accelerate efforts towards ending FGM in the country.
Of girls who have undergone FGM also varies. We have many.
The mobile application known as Smart Reporting and Referral will help victims and survivors report such cases as well as other gender-based violence cases anonymously.
SRO, as we refer to it, initiated an innovative project targeting young innovators, especially women and girls, to come up with innovative solutions that will accelerate efforts towards ending gender-based violence and harmful practices by 2030. And of course, following the evaluation process, we had 4 innovators were selected as winners, and we are very fortunate to have one of those winners here from Nigeria. And his name is Nat'l. It's a technology-based application to allow survivors, different healthcare providers, social workers to confidentially report on cases, incidents of GBV, female genital mutilation, other health-related issues. We are certain that this new innovation will increase reporting and referral across Nigeria, particularly in the Northeast, around GBV, female genital mutilation, and I know that they have already have the application being rolled out and people have been using the application, and we are seeing some statistics already that is creating some thinking in our head of how we can improve on some of the programs that we're doing in Nigeria.
The app, developed by Dirug Samuel and his team, is designed to enhance access and connect its users to information, reproductive health services, and other service providers by way of referral using their mobile phones. Samuel Dirug is one of the winners of the UNFPA FGM Hack Lab initiative, which aims to empower young people and offer them the opportunity to be game changers and drivers of a sustainable green future.
The application is becoming a virtual one-stop shop where you access gender-based violence services, FGM services, as well as sexual reproductive health services. The Smart Alert innovation simply connects survivors of gender-based violence to service providers from their immediate community. So what the app basically does is to enable you identify a service provider within your community and then link you with that service provider confidentially and anonymously as well. So the application helps you to reduce the number of people that are involved in reporting gender-based violence cases or or accessing services. You know, sometimes when there is a case in a community, almost the entire community gets to know about it, and that's one of the things that survivors hate. So the smart RRA is there to reduce the number of people that a survivor gets in touch with before accessing services, which means a survivor only gets direct contact with the right person that is to help her or him at the end of the day.
UNFPA FGM Hack Lab initiative is a project that targets young innovators, especially women and girls, who have innovative solutions that will accelerate efforts towards UNFPA's goal of ending gender-based violence and harmful practices by 2030.
Ensure the object will stay in place and function as intended.
High school students and their tutors in Cyprus have developed a prototype robot powered with ChatGPT artificial intelligence technology to harness and improve teaching experiences in the classroom.
Why did the chicken cross the playground to get to the other side?
Named Einstein like Einstein, but starting with AI, the squat robot, created in a collaboration of 3 Pascal schools in Cyprus, stands roughly the size of a small adult and looks like a sculpted version of the Michelin Man. It's powered with ChatGPT, a chatbot developed by US firm OpenAI and backed by computer giant Microsoft.
The first screen is a touchscreen. It was designed basically to combine the movement with the brain. So it's a touchscreen, and also it was like gonna be like a game, so kids can interact with him and see what Einstein was doing. Now the second screen now is directly connected to the brain with the ChatGPT. So you see actually here what the robot is recognizing before it sends the signal to the computer to change the voice. So the computer also is being used to change the voice of the robot to sound like Einstein. So it's 2 things. It's ChatGPT connected through this device here, and also you have the voice commands that pass through the computer and changes the voice. So you have like a more original experience rather than just a small device. So it's a collaboration of a lot of technologies together.
A screen for a face tries to mimic human features with blinks and frowns.
Write your name, surname.
In a Northern American accent, it can tell a joke.
Here's a joke for you. Why was the math book sad? Because it had too many problems.
And guide the listener on how Albert Einstein's theory of relativity can be taught in a class.
You could try constructing a simple pendulum with a long string and a heavy object, like a weight or a ball. You can then swing the pendulum back and forth at different rates, enabling you to measure its frequency and period.
He doesn't have a favorite movie since it was before his time, he says, but he enjoys reading science books and spending leisure time with his violin. Teachers say the ultimate purpose of Einstein is to incorporate it into lesson plans.
The mission of the robot is to actually incorporate it into lesson plans, so teachers can actually visit Einstein and incorporate like a lesson plan or a curriculum to understand actually what Einstein was doing. And it's a very interactive experience. Students can ask him questions, he can answer back, or he can even facilitate to teachers to actually deliver a lesson more effectively.
He gave a demonstration of how AI can be adapted to the classroom. Albert Einstein's theory of time relativity, Einstein advises, can be explained with the movement of a pendulum relative to the gravitational field in which it is placed. According to members of the project, the experience showed that AI is not anything to fear.
From this experience, all of the participants, the teachers, the kids, even the school, they got to know ChatGPT. They're not scared of the technology anymore. They're not scared of AI. So they learn how to critically think, to solve problems, and it's a very good example of STEAM education. So we had a problem, we used technology, mathematics, engineering, to solve an actual problem, which was how do you incorporate ChatGPT on an actual scenario in a secondary school education.
The European Union is considering legislation governing the use of artificial intelligence, although advances in the technology far outpaces lawmakers' efforts. South Korean company PetNow has demonstrated a pet identification app that they hope will act as a supplement or replacement of the microchips, tags, and collars normally used by pet owners. The PetNow app uses the fingerprint-like uniqueness of a dog's nose and a cat's face to identify their biometrics.
As humans have fingerprints, every dog and cat has its own unique nose print. So we use that as a pet ID, and our ultimate goal is to replace microchips. Because microchipping could be very invasive to pets. You have to inject needles to pets' bodies, but a lot of pet owners does not like that kind of invasiveness. So our app could be the solution. So all you need to do with our app is to scan a dog's nose or a cat's face and put your information in it, and that's it.
PetNow's Johnny Lee explains that in the same way that human beings have unique fingerprints that do not change over time, the muzzles of dogs and cats act in the same way. Using the PetNow app, dog and cat owners can register the face of their pets. The owner has an additional method of being notified if the animal is lost, with the pet being easily identifiable by whoever finds it via the app. The app is powered by artificial intelligence, according to the company, with AI features rapidly tracking the nose when the data is being collected. It automatically focuses on the center of the detected nose, taking 5 to 20 high-quality pictures automatically and sending it to the server to recognize the pet's biometric information.
The nose print is actually a unique nose pattern on the nose, so it does not change in time, or it does not change in color. So it's a pattern, so you don't have to worry about the nose print. And for the cat's face, cats are known for self-groomers, so they maintain their facial contour all the time. So that's how we can use it as a biometrics.
According to the company, it currently boasts 98.97% accuracy. The company, founded in 2018, published a paper about AI-driven identification of dogs using nose prints in the IEEE Access peer-reviewed scientific journal in March 2021 and was selected as the best of innovation at CES 2022 in Las Vegas. The federal government has approved the implementation of the National Blockchain Policy for Nigeria. This was disclosed by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Pantami, and he says the new policy is a product of consultations with 56 institutions and personalities whose end goal is to regulate blockchain technology in Nigeria's economy and security sectors. The activities of the policy will be coordinated by the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. My guest on the program, Adedeji Owonibi, founder and COO at Convexity, who is also a member of the working group that worked on the policy document, joins me to discuss this further. What can you tell us about the National Blockchain Policy, or the National Blockchain Adoption Strategy, if you like?
Okay, so the National Blockchain Strategy is a very beautiful document that I think a lot of Nigerian tech enthusiasts have been waiting to get. Most especially the people that are playing within what we call the Web3 or what we call the blockchain ecosystem. So the policy itself is all around, the government saying I think we believe there's something fantastic about this technology, and therefore we need to create a platform where we can transition using this technology into the digital economy. And that's the vision I think the country have. How to get that done is another way. Of course, that is all detailed in the policy document on ways we can drive adoption of the blockchain technology across all government agencies, ministries, and parastatals to make sure that these technologies support and create or boost efficiency within those ministries, and of course, increase transparency and boost their productivity, if you like.
Now, what prompted the creation of the policy?
the need for it is for government to actually point out what is their vision about this technology. And that's the need for the policy. So if you've heard, and don't forget that we also, we're so passionate that we had to change our ministry for communication to now Ministry of Digital Economy and Communication, So this whole issue is that this have to be galvanized, and you cannot be talking about digital economy, you cannot be talking about innovation this time and era without bringing in blockchain. So how will Nigeria as a country, take advantage of this nascent technology that has been spoken of all over the world? And that is the reason that the policy was actually drafted.
Can you share some key contents of the policy and why it's so important?
So, like I talked about, blockchain, a lot of people mention, but it's just a database, right? So we've been using database before now. There's a lot of database. The only thing is that this database we talk about have a lot of copies of this same database across multiple computers around the world, or multiple computers, we will say here across Nigeria, and they will be updated simultaneously as maybe in seconds when something happens. So it will also make sure that there's transparency within the stakeholders that are engaged in using that technology, and also the ability to make sure that things that we do are done in a secured manner across all these different networks, right? And again, one very major key thing that we have to pay attention to is the immutability of the data we store there. Security is guaranteed. No one can alter it. A whole lot. And so those are all the things that are encapsulated in the policy to say we have to be able to do that. And one key part of it is actually a money that will be used for digital economy. And again, you can, of course, you're in this country, that the INERA by the central bank is one of the layers that is key in to support the whole thing.
Talking about the digital economy, the question of how blockchain will help boost Nigeria's digital economy comes to mind. How will the policy document facilitate this?
So, policy document is a document by different stakeholders within the blockchain space. So is a combination of a lot of experts that understand this technology, that are Nigerians, that come together to put this together. I was fortunate to contribute to this when I was contacted by the Ministry of Digital Economy far back 2019, 2020, to make sure we contribute to this document. We worked through that. We launched the draft sometime in 2021, January. And so then, Nat'l and their own way have to work in some things that are outside our own understanding to actually make it what it is today, what the His Excellency, the President Muhammadu Buhari have signed into law. They have signed into the policy document to actually guide the transition. But note that this document is not legal yet. It's not a law, kind of. It's not. It doesn't have any legal backing aside just detailing the vision and the dream of the country to what they want to see us play with blockchain. So there will be a composition of what we call the blockchain consortium that will be driven by the blockchain adoption steering committee that will be set up by the government. And all this whole framework will be driven by Nat'l itself to make sure that every ministry, parastatal, whatever they are doing, that is possible for it to be digitized, all the activities that can actually be facilitated with blockchain. Again, blockchain is not the total answer to every problem in different ministries and parastatal, but the one that it will be advantageous to have blockchain power it. Of course, those are now very clear that they have the leeway and the government backing. So you begin to see blockchain-enabled solutions in our budget next year, because again, everybody will want to use and make sure that what they were doing before that can be moved from voting, for example, from identity, from our national identity. And I believe our national identity is already on the blockchain. So there are a few places that our blockchain have already helped us. So prior to now, we've not gotten the identity correctly, but now your identity is your identity forever. Nobody can change it. Not even MC can change it, for example, because they use the blockchain layer to issue you one identity. Now they're moving to a layer where you have what we call a decentralized identity, So when you have that decentralized identity on your own self, it's left to you. We have, what we call the zero knowledge proof. So you can prove that you are the person without giving much detail for data privacy. So there's a whole lot of things that the document is talking about. They also talk about incentive for people that are building solutions around this segment. So like for us now, we're very excited because we decided when this whole thing was not the way it is being talked about now, we established the first Nigerian blockchain innovation hub, right? And we'll be building solutions across that place. So if there's a document that say there's incentive people building, so we say, oh, thank goodness, now we can get some incentive for the thing we've been building without incentive prior to this time. And so there's a whole lot of things. There's the consortium, there's a lot of framework that need to come up. All this will be governed together within the steering committee on the implementation to make sure that this is done rightly for the benefit of the country.
Another question I'd like to ask you, which I think is also on the minds of many, is whether this means there is hope for the legalization of cryptocurrencies.
This is like a baby step. And I love it that Nigeria is giving the whole Africa a lot of lessons to learn. So we've done this document, a lot of African nations will copy us. So again, Nigeria is playing a very leading role when it comes to also the CBDC, which is a big topic that is talked about by different central banks across the world. And Nigeria also, again, took the very giant step by establishing and creating the eNaira, which is the first CBDC within the shores of Africa. And again, the one and the only CBDC that is rolled out completely to cater for over 200 million people across the globe. So this is a very learning curve. So that is a leading role, and that is what my country is playing, and that is what makes me very glad as a Nigerian this time. So we've been taking a back seat, and I've been shouting and saying this have to change because this is a new technology that started around 2009 or thereabout, and that's over 14 years. And I don't want to see a 14 years of waiting and the government is not saying, well, just hold on, we want to see what is there. So the technology will be 25, 30 years before they say, oh, we think it's fantastic, you can go on. And by that time, we have been disadvantaged. And I think we're not late now. This is great. And I believe that with time, everybody will come on board. So to answer your question straight, this is not a validation for crypto adoption. This is a validation for using the technology itself to power the processes of government.
Well, it was great to hear your thoughts about the national blockchain policy. Thank you so much, Adedeji, for talking to us on Tech Trends.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, that's all we have for you on our lineup this week. Thank you for staying with us. As always, Tech Trends is here to share insights, trends, and developments happening in the tech space. If you missed any part of the program, you can always catch up on the channel's TV YouTube account where we have all of our episodes. And I encourage you to watch, share, and like your favorite editions. For Tech Trends, I'm Olayemi Odunuga. I'll see you next time.